Hi, this is Alessio. Hope you're well, and welcome to a brand new crypto update. In this video, in just a few moments, I'm going to show you a very interesting chart that is related to Bitcoin that is skyrocketed. So we'll discuss what this potentially means in just a few moments. Before I do that, though, I want to show you what's happening here on some of these other cryptos. By the way, some of you have said to me, could you please keep these videos as short as possible? So I'll do my best, guys. I'll try and keep this as short and sweet as possible. I'm looking at a chart of Ethereum, ETH over here. Now, what's interesting about this is Ethereum is forming a pattern some of you may recognize. Some of you who probably studied candlestick patterns probably know and recognize what this candlestick pattern is. You can see a massive rally with momentum on Ethereum. Now look what's happened here. This is often called in technical analysis and in pattern analysis as a shooting star pattern. A shooting star candlestick pattern often looks like an inverted hammer or an inverted cross and usually happens towards the end of a rally. By the way, one more thing. It needs to be confirmed by a negative bar. So it needs confirmation by some kind of a negative bar. All right, by itself is not conclusive. Here's an example for you here. You can see market rallies, and then get a shooting star, inverted hammer candlestick, followed by a negative bar that is often becomes a reversal signal. You can see what happened. The price then usually reverses lower. Okay, so let's take a look at a chart of Ethereum here. Now, at the moment, as I'm making this video right now at about 2 p.m. UK time. Who knows? By the time by the time you're watching this video, perhaps this might have changed. So we'll have to wait and see. But at present, as I'm making this video, this is what I'm seeing here. So you can see Ethereum rally higher. Momentum seems to be diminishing here because we're getting this sort of candle pattern, a shooting star potentially. Now remember, a shooting star candle pattern needs to be confirmed by a negative bar, at the very least, to increase the odds of a reversal. We haven't got a negative bar at present yet. We'll have to wait and see. And by the way, it isn't just Ethereum that is doing this. Let me show you EOS. Take a look at a chart of EOS or EOS, and this is just incredible. I mean, this is such a mad chart. EOS rallied higher, but look at this. Today, it spiked higher towards the 8 level, and then it gave all of that back. Look at that, and we formed we're forming a very elongated shooting star candlestick pattern. Again, there's no confirmation of it just yet, but by the looks of things, I mean, this does look quite negative. What does a shooting star candle pattern actually mean? Again, in technical analysis, it usually means that higher prices are being rejected by buyers, and potentially short sellers may be getting in on the action as well. But essentially what it means is the higher prices are getting rejected by market participants, and that's causing the price to suddenly fall back down. Now, let's not forget, by the way, there's a lot of manipulation involved in these markets too. There are bots involved here that potentially are causing price movements, so we mustn't forget that either. But for the moment, EOS and Ethereum are forming these patterns, rather bearish patterns. XRP pretty much as well. Well, XRP is not forming a doji or a shooting star pattern, but it's forming a negative bar. That's quite interesting. By comparison, though, Bitcoin's actions not been particularly negative. I mean, yes, there's a negative bar today, but it's not been as strong or very bearish candlestick. We don't see a hugely bearish candlestick pattern on Bitcoin at present today as I'm making this video. But we are seeing some interesting patterns developing again on Ethereum, again, doji, shooting star pattern, whatever you want to call that, and also on EOS as well. Could this be an indication of something? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But here's what's really interesting. I want to show you this. This is the chart of Bitcoin longs versus Bitcoin shorts on Bitfinex. And again, that's a symbol right there. You can easily find that, as you can see right there, BTC USD longs against BTC USD shorts. This is on a daily time frame chart. Over here on the bottom, I put RSI setting of 7. You can see this particular ratio has now skyrocketed. It's gone from extreme bearish levels, from low levels to extreme bullish levels, and we got overbought signal on the RSI. And now I have to tell you, there are some different opinions about how to interpret this particular ratio. There are some people in the crypto space who seem to interpret this as a contrarian indicator. In other words, as a contrary signal. In other words, the higher this goes and the more it spikes higher, the more likely it is that it's potentially a bearish signal for Bitcoin, especially when we go from extreme lows to extreme highs with overbought signals on the RSI. In fact, what I'm going to do here, as you can see, by the way, you can see how it's gone from one extreme to a low extreme and now gone back to another extreme. If I put on this chart, let me just superimpose on my chart Bitcoin prices, And I have to tell you, I've been looking at this correlation between this ratio and Bitcoin itself. I haven't seen a strong correlation. So there isn't a lot of statistics or evidence to back it up as a contrary indicator. But again, there are some people in the crypto space who think that it is a contrary indicator. But in any case, let me know what you think, by the way, about this particular index. But here's some interesting things I want to show you. Notice, for example, I want to show an instance of for some instances in the past when it did something like this. So let me show you. As you can see over here, back in August, it went from one extreme low to an extreme high. And when it hit extreme high, it did coincide with a top in the price of Bitcoin. Very similar situation here in October. You can see one extreme low to extreme high, and look what happened to the price of Bitcoin. It then dropped, similar to what happened here. Okay, let me show another example. So again, another extreme low to extreme high on the BTC longs versus BTC shorts, and you can see that's increased and coincided with a drop there as well. Now, I have to tell you, again, the correlation isn't as strong as I would like it to be, but again, it is what it is. Essentially, what it's showing to us is that this ratio, the BTC longs versus BTC shorts, is hitting almost to levels we've been before. And these tend to have coincided. They tend to coincide with potential levels where we could see reversals in the price of Bitcoin. Now, we'll have to wait and see. Again, let me know what you think about this particular index. But bottom line is, that is what we have. Again, coupled with some bearish signals on the other markets, some shooting star candles on some of the cryptos. Well, we'll have to wait for some confirmation of a potential reversal. But for the moment, we have to remember that Bitcoin is a different kind of animal. These are cryptos at the end of the day, so they tend to have their own individual personalities, and they can often ignore the laws of gravity. But certainly things are looking very interesting on Bitcoin, and let's just wait and see we get that retracement, that pullback or correction that we talked about in a previous video. Thanks very much indeed, guys. Hope this video helps. I'll see you guys in the next video update.